What up, guys? John from LinksWell. It is time for episode 19, and we finally hit that 12,500 subscribers, which means somebody at the end of this episode is getting a free radio. So, what do you say we get to that interview so we can get to the giving away a radio? Hey guys, all right, man, it is episode 19, and I was just telling Victor here how everybody picks on me because I say, what's up, guys, every time I start a podcast.
But you also, that's something you're saving off camera.
Yeah, I feel like I do say what's up.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be like my Robin Williams thing.
Yeah.
Good morning, Vietnam, right? My thing would just be like, what's up, guys? Yeah. So all of you haters that were picking on me at SEMA, soon enough, that'll be a catchphrase, and I'll make T-shirts.
That's right.
And you'll wear one. Or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I would wear one.
I think so. It would be weird for me to wear one, but then I want to be a self-promoter.
There you go.
Not that I think I have anything to promote, but
it would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
What up, guys?
I knew a mobile DJ guy, and he had this look to himself. It was like the oversized prescription glasses.
Okay.
And
like the plastic rims?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just big, and it was like his chain, and then he had a silhouette of that on his shirt.
Oh.
And it looked just, it was like, I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to get to my next set of glasses. I'll get some big ones.
There you go.
And then we'll look cool. Yeah. But we've got some exciting news. We have our second Team LinksWell and our second YouTuber tied together. Second YouTuber, second influencer. And we finally hit 12,500. We actually hit 12,700.
Nice.
So after we recorded with Sarah, like the next day, we went up like 300 subscribers. So I don't know how it happened, but we're glad it happened. So somebody's getting a free Double Din radio at the end of this episode.
Nice. I think it was the word beauty in that.
Beauty?
In that title.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. They're like, oh my gosh, it's no longer those two ugly guys. It's a pretty girl. That's probably what happened. So people are like subscribing.
There you go.
But so at the end of the episode, we'll give that away. And then we were talking, we'll give away a sub amp next go round.
Yes.
So the next 500, which will put us about 13.3-ish, 13.4. I'll have to double check when I post this. But we'll give away a sub amp because who doesn't need bass, like you said?
That's right.
Yeah, right on. So, well, let's introduce our guest. Our guest, I can't remember what state he's from. I just know it's a pretty state because he's an Overlander. Mr. Overlanding Cactus is his handle. What's up, my man?
Not much. How are you?
That's good, dude. You're like the most chill guy.
Really?
Like you just have this you're just like chill.
So I try to live life.
I feel like he could read a lullaby to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just different personalities, different vibes.
I'm all hyped. You're always ready.
I could be either one.
Yeah.
I should call myself a chameleon or something.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I found your channel. Actually, let me tell you the whole story. So my son-in-law, before he was my son-in-law, was considering what truck to buy. He wanted to know if he should buy it. He really wanted a Tacoma. And then one of our engineers here had an old Ranger SEMA build that was all overlanded with the roof rack and bed rack and tent and everything. And he wanted to sell it for about what a new Tacoma was going for stock.
Okay.
And so I hit my son-in-law up. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know much about the Ranger, but I'm just like, this truck's got 9,000 miles on it. It's been a SEMA build and a show pony.
It looked nice too.
It did look nice. And I go, and for the money, like you're getting all this extra stuff. I go, but I don't know anything about the Ranger. So I started Googling on YouTube because that's where you go to learn everything is YouTube.
Right.
If you don't know something, you go to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I started going to YouTube, and so I came across your channel, and I watched you, and there was one other young guy from like Arkansas or something that was out there doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, man, this guy's. You have a really chill demeanor about you, and you just like you're very detailed and whatnot in your videos and stuff. So I learned quite a bit.
Appreciate it.
And then when my boss was like, "Hey, we need to get some YouTubers, some radios. We need some folks to get some stuff out on their channels, not just our channels." And Rangers actually are really hard to find folks running them, unless it's Australia.
Yes.
Like I could get. Oh my gosh, the Australians love it, but the problem is they're right-hand drive. Mm-hmm. And so our radio, because our radio has that whole dash bezel, it can't lateral over to a right-hand drive like some of the other ones. So it was like I was hunting and hunting. I was like, oh, what the heck, man? Like I think I actually subscribed to your channel a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on a minute. I'm pretty sure I subscribed to this guy's channel. And so, so I found an email. I was like, hey, man, are you interested in a really big radio screen?
And I was.
And then, yes.
Yeah, I was working out, and I saw my phone go off, and I saw that you sent me a message. And that was the first time anybody actually reached out to me for a partnership. So I thought it was really cool.
Okay.
I'm like, absolutely, let's go ahead and get started. And that was about a year ago, I think now, December last year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because I found your channel. So my son-in-law bought that truck back the summer of last year. So I was like, found your channel, well, almost 2 years ago. I found your channel.
Okay.
And then it's been about a year. So, but yeah, so tell us about yourself, man. What do you do outside of YouTube?
Mostly work. Full time. Now we have our kid now. We had him in August 21st. So that's really been taking up a lot of our time. Other than working and being at home, I play video games and I like to work out, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, my life's pretty boring, but I'm very grateful for everything I've got. So I'm a big homebody. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. So where is home, if you don't mind, like just state-wise?
Ohio.
Because I just remember you seeing some really Ohio. Yeah. Okay. That's right. So I remember seeing some really pretty spots out there. Like we're in California, Southern California. So we're called the Inland Valley, and we are like an hour and a half-ish to like the hardcore desert.
Yeah.
To the beach, to the snowy mountains.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're like in this little center hub. So like we could go like see the legit desert, like sand dune desert. Mm-hmm. We could go see the high desert, which is like kind of like mountains, but no trees. It's like mountains with cactuses. And then, we got the mountains, but it's a different vibe. Like I was in Indiana for a show a few months back, and it's just a different whole thing. Like I didn't get to travel until recently, so I've like been in California and only know California. So when I see other places, I'm like, oh my gosh, the trees change color. Like it's not just it. What is this? This is crazy.
Yes, so that was me on our way to Portland.
Yeah, it's pretty up there too, huh?
Oh, the scenery, man!
Yeah.
Driving up was
a bucket list for us for sure to go up there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So you had a Ranger. I think I said say Ranger, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. It's been a long day. It's only Monday, man.
You know what? It's been, I like we've done so much so far, but it's also going by quick.
Yeah, it is.
Because it just flew by.
It's the days.
Yeah.
It's the days. So you got a baby boy. That's exciting. Yeah.
Did you have any other kids?
No, first one.
Or just a one? Oh,
first
cool.
One.
Exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I know my wife and I, the first time we walked out of the hospital, she's in the wheelchair holding the baby, right?
Yep.
And then she like stopped right before we caught the elevator, and she looks back. She's like, "Do these people know like that we have no idea what we're gonna be doing with this baby? How do they trust us with this like life? And like, do they not know?
Yeah, do they not? I was like, there's no background checks for this.
I was like, shh, be quiet. I just pushed through it.
Just don't let them know. Don't let them know.
You gotta figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%. That's my advice every time we counsel like young couples that are like thinking about having babies, and like we'll never be like have a baby, but like if they're like I just don't know because I don't know if it's the right time, and I'm like, well, here's how this works. Like it's never the right time.
Right.
Like life always has something that will tell you it's not the right time, and then life always has something to tell you it is the right time. So you just kind of gotta roll with it, man.
Yeah.
Let it happen. And I said you're gonna read a lot of books, which will help get you pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
But, oh man,
or at least know what to expect at like every stage of their life, right? Like at 3 months, at 4 months. Mm-hmm. And so my wife was like, oh, he should be starting to do this, that. And I'm like, really? I go, how do you know? She's like, I'm reading the
books. Yeah, my wife's a super smart person. Yeah. She reads way more than I do.
I was like, tell me more.
Tell me more, yeah. So 4 months. So he's noisy, and
he's kind of in a regression now where he was sleeping throughout the night. Like last week, and now he's very good. He'll wake up, and some nights hard to put back to bed, but other than that, he's been fantastic. He's getting his little personality finally. So,
yeah.
you know, when I come home, I work night shift. So when I come home at 7 in the morning, and he happens to be awake sometimes, he lights up, makes me super happy. We hang out, play a little bit, and then he's right back to bed. So it's been That's great.
Super cool, man.
It's been great.
Yeah. Being a dad is something special, man. Yeah, I can remember coming home and them being all super excited. I never worked night shifts. I've worked like multiple jobs, so I've had like times where I haven't seen my kids for days on end. But my daughter, because I've always worked on cars, so I've always had hands that look like they went through a wood chipper, like full of scratches and cuts and stuff. And so my daughter would like sit on my lap and like count my owies. She'd be like, "Yeah, 5 owies today, Daddy." "Yeah, 6 owies today, Daddy." I just remember that she used to count my owies. So I'm like, yeah, those are all love owies. Don't ever forget this. This is how much Dad loves you. It's totally passive aggressive, but you know, you learn things. Anyways, you learn things. Okay, man. So new baby, you got a Ranger, overlanding. So how long, or like you mentioned a bit that you're a homebody.
Yeah.
So have you been like a camper? Like, did you grow up camping? That was just kind of your thing?
So actually, my family and I only went camping probably about 5 times when I was growing up. So not a lot.
Okay.
So compared to what we do, like last year, we went every month, at least one time. Ohio doesn't have much, to be honest, when it comes to trails or they have campgrounds, but nothing primitive, like nothing like out west, obviously. So we go to West Virginia a lot, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I think 2 years ago now, we went to Colorado for the first time with the truck. But growing up, no, not really. I always liked the outdoors. I think because of the small amount of times we went, very peaceful, got to go fishing and just being with family. I think that's why I ultimately like doing it now a lot more.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I love camping. We did a little camping, very little. My grandparents had RVs, so we did a lot of RV things when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then my wife grew up camping, and so when we had kids, we camped quite a bit. We camped quite a bit when our kids were younger, and then I ended up getting into ministry and being bivocational, so my weekends got really, really tight. And so we didn't get to do a lot of camping for a long time. And then actually, we didn't start getting back into camping probably until the last few years, between doing all this R&D work for the new stuff that we're making. And then like my kids made friends at our church who's a Eagle Scout camping guy. So we go camping. So we did a whole 10 days, 11 days camping when we went up to the Redwoods. When my wife broke her foot.
Oh, that's right.
Man.
I think I've told that story enough times. Snapped her foot right on a trail.
Damn, man.
It was a good time. She kept tent camping though, so that's who she is. So right on. So how long then have you been doing overlanding? Because I know it's a little different. Camping's one thing, overlanding's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit over 2 years now. So
I
had a Ford Focus before, and then I got my career job finally, and after a year of working that, I was watching a couple YouTube videos, and I'm pretty sure it was Donut Media. They were doing like an overlanding series for their high-low series, and watching that on my recommended page, more YouTubers would pop up that are overlanders, and I'm like, man, this looks like something that I'd really want to do. So this was when the Mavericks came out around this time.
Oh, okay.
So I like the cost of them. The fuel efficiency was good. So I'm like, I might as well get one. So I allocated one, and I happened to be at the dealership that I ordered it from, just walking around before it even got there. And I saw a Ranger, and I'm like, man, this is like a perfect size. And I'm thinking this Maverick's going to be maybe a little bit too small for me, but I wrote it off for the time being, and we started looking at, Bronco Sport. This is when it was really hard to get one, so it was going to be impossible. Yeah. But one dealership up north from us had my Ranger, the Cactus Gray with the black appearance package, and it just looked super clean. And reached out to them. They told me what I can get for my Ford Focus. I brought it up there, and 2 hours later, the truck was mine, and
Nice.
And ever since then, just little by little, adding things to it, very small things. Like I think a sticker was the first thing I put on the back window, an Ohio sticker. But taking the air dam off, the biggest thing I did in the first year was just the new tires and wheels. Making the stance a lot bigger, letting it be easier for us to go hit trails. But yeah, just slowly by surely, just keep adding things onto it. And I think our first camping trip was down in Hawking Hills, Ohio. No, it was Mohican, Ohio. Got a little campground down there. Now, we didn't have the whole rooftop tent yet or anything like that. We just had, ground tent, which is fine. No problem with that at all.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
We did that. Then we looked at West Virginia because we'd been there before. No, the first time we went there was with the Ranger, and going up to an overlook, there was a sign that says, 4x4 vehicles only. And, me, I'm super excited. She's freaking out because I have no recovery gear, nothing. And it was little puddles. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
But it went down a pretty steep, rocky hill. And come to find out 2 years later, that was the Can-Am, if I'm saying it right, Can-Am Loop in West Virginia. And the National Forest there. And we went on it 2 years later, coming the opposite way. And it was a medium difficulty. I don't think I would have been comfortable doing it the first time we went. That would have been terrifying with no gear. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, finally, just going wherever we can. We hit it really hard last year, and then with her being pregnant last summer, really kind of slowed things down for us, getting us, we got a house and everything, so everything really slowed down. So we're going to wait until he is a little bit closer to 1 probably, and see how he is if we go out somewhere close by for one night, see how it is, and eventually just keep going more places.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah. Remember my son. So my son was born in middle of January, and then I don't know why. I can't tell you why. But my wife wanted to go camping for Easter, and Easter was like at least last year. That year, Easter was like early April.
Okay.
And so we went camping with was that 3 months? My baby boy was 3 months old, and she had him in one of those like Moses baskets, all like tucked in, and boy just like slept in the tent. Well,
that's cool.
Yeah, nice. Well, we did Easter eggs, and so we watched we have home video from it, right? So my daughters are, so my son was just a baby, so my one daughter's 3, my other one's 6.
I see.
Yeah, now they're monsters, but that's cool, man. Super fun. Like camping with a family with kids is way different. I think it's a whole nother level of like cool and fun.
It's good for them, for me, the kids.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Let them get dirty, let them fall, let them scratch something. So that's cool. Love it. Right on. So you said so what was your favorite trip this year that you went on?
Oh man, this year. I'm trying to think if it was last year or this year, because I get confused with where we go, because we go to the same places a lot. Not this year, but I guess within the last 2 years was hands down Colorado.
Okay.
Long road trip. I think it was 21 hours from where we are in Ohio to where we were staying for the first night there. And we had a halfway point, like a hotel for one night. Problem at that time was she was still working and she didn't get a lot of PTO. I got plenty, so we can only go for 1 full week, and that was it. We had to be back so she can go back to work.
Right.
Looking forward now, because she's going to be staying home. We're probably going to look at going like a month-long road trip where we're not stopping at hotels. We're stopping at monuments, historical sites, camping on the way there, and then enjoying the other states out there. But that trip was awesome. There was one memory I had from that trip was we were getting off I-80, to go south. I don't remember what the highway was to go south, but it's pitch black, dark on the highway. There were no cars, middle of the night, and you can like look up from outside your window, and you can just see the blanket of stars, like nothing I've ever seen before in Ohio.
Wow!
We literally parked, went off the shoulder, parked, and just stood there for 5 minutes and just took it in. It was crazy to see, but we hit a lot of trails there. It was a great time.
Yeah, Colorado is a lot of the overlanding gear company manufacturers are up out of Colorado.
Yeah, really?
A lot of the rack guys, like Up Top's up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of the guys making really cool stuff out of Colorado. It's kind of I don't know if it's like the culture there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to go up to Colorado. That'd be cool.
I heard it's a nice spot.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Pretty. That's
well,
cool.
we get to see the stars out of here whenever we want. We just bring the demo truck and
with the Starlight headliner.
Yeah, just recline the seat and you can take
take it in.
Not just 5 minutes, take it for 3 hours if you want to
stare at it. You're dumb. So it's for sale if anybody's interested. $35,000 for an F-150. Anyways, well, so you've done overlanding. You had your truck for a while. So now we get to talk about LinksWell and just what has been your favorite part about having the T-Style? Because I think we sent you a Gen 6. So what was your favorite part so far of having the T-Style in the truck? Like, how's it made your? I mean, because this is your daily driver too?
It used to be. Now that she's not working, I'm taking her car now.
Gotcha.
We got a new car for her.
I'm curious though, what was in there before? The stock radio?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
You had the stock radio in there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, going for this from Sync 3 to
a Sync 400.
Pretty much.
I don't know if it's yeah. So you did drive it for daily drivers, so you kind of have like you can kind of talk to both, right? Like what it's like to have it in just your normal get in car, go to work, go to the grocery store, and then there's the other side of things where it comes into play where it's got like special abilities when it comes to the off-road side of things. So I'd love to hear just kind of your take, man. What's been like your favorite things that the LinksWell radio's offered you?
So for me, just from the beginning, the OEM radio is the only thing that I did not like about this generation of Ranger. I think the body and the outside, the framework is great. I don't particularly like the new generation, how they look, unless it's a Raptor. For some reason, they just look better, probably because they cost $60,000.
They make it look better.
Right. But, they have a similar, full screen system in that new generation, which I like, but I didn't want to get a new truck. So it was perfect. I was always missing that little bit of, I guess, luxury of having a bigger screen, because that's where a lot of manufacturers are going these days. And for the day-to-day, for me, I use Apple CarPlay. That is my main thing. And what I really like about the radio is that I don't have to get my phone out anymore, plug in the wired connection for CarPlay from the OEM radio, and keep it in my pocket, throw it on the seat, and it's going to automatically connect with Bluetooth and be ready to go in like 5 seconds. That's for day-to-day, that's pretty much my favorite part of it. We have a lot of drive-in restaurants in this area. So what we like to do, I put it on my story on Instagram one time, but we can pull up a YouTube video. We can watch, HBO, any streaming service you want. It's on there. And I use Hotspot. That's just my preference for the radio. And, it's not laggy or anything. It's pretty freaking smooth. So there's that. And then I use OnX Off-Road for my off-roading app. I know some people use Gaia and whatever other apps there are, but it's pretty cool how it's not just the navigation system on the radio. You can have Apple Maps, Google Maps, OnX Off-Road, and the whole screen will be a map. It'll track your entire trip.
Yep.
So we use that a lot. I like to know where we've been when we go overlanding or camping anywhere, just so I know where we have gone, so we don't backtrack or say, oh, we haven't been here before when we did. Mm-hmm. So I think another thing that's great is the installation was pretty easy. I know you guys have a video on it now for the Ford Ranger. At the time when I had it, there wasn't a video, so you helped me out a lot.
Yeah, I think I was actually set to shoot it.
Yes.
Like a week after I sent it to you. I was like, bro, I've got one coming in like a week.
Yeah. But you helped me out big time. I was texting you a lot, and but it's pretty awesome. It's, plug and play. If you get those extra options, like you want to get the 4G and all that, it was very simple. It took me, I think, like an hour or two, one afternoon to just do it. And another thing is, back to the OEM part, is it looks like it's from Ford, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you guys did a good job with the trim piece, including that with the radio, because it looks factory. It looks very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things about the radio. I do like the equalizer is one of my favorite things too. Is just
it's got a nice DSP in it. That Gen 6 has got a good little DSP in there.
It makes the music sound a whole lot better than, because I didn't have the aftermarket radio from the factory. I just had the stock radio, and just with that upgrade alone, the bass was way better. The treble everything was better. So.
Well, you're going from like a 3-band EQ to 16. That gives you a huge thing. And then aftermarket radios always have more power than a factory one. So you have that benefit too.
So many factors.
So we're on Xers too, mainly because we have friends at OnX. Yeah. So but we use OnX. So we'll actually, I'm taking the Jeep, and then I'm gonna have one of our other techs follow me in the Tacoma. We're gonna go do some media around some of our new power grid stuff. And we'll use OnX. My favorite thing about OnX is, like, I can sit at my computer and like map my whole plan and then save it. And then when I get in the Jeep, I just open up OnX and then hit the button, and I hit download, and it sucks in everything I created on my computer. Wow. And now it's on the radio. And then I just hit offline, and then
awesome.
I'm off. Yeah, it's just done, man. It's like,
so
it's
easy.
A whole. Yeah, and I know you can do it in CarPlay, but doing it on the radio, you get all the extra features that you don't have in CarPlay, like pinch to zoom and all that stuff, which Jonathan's talked about in one of our other episodes. Yeah. So if you haven't seen, we had Jonathan from OnX on episode 7 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And we were talking about, he's got a Tacoma. We actually ran into him at a show, and we actually hung out with him at SEMA.
Yes, we did.
He came out. We went and hung out with him and a couple other trail mappers, and met the guys from More Flat and Front Runner. We made friends.
But we met Jonathan originally at the Sand and Sport, right?
Yeah, we chased him down. We literally chased him down.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, that's cool, man. I'm super glad. Like I said, I was really struggling to find somebody with a Ranger, and I don't know why it took me so long to remember that I subscribed to your channel. I don't know, drugs in the 80s maybe.
Maybe.
But it was always. I was super excited to get it to you, and. This content you've made has been super good and solid. Like I said, you're just like your demeanor's a like nice, chill demeanor, and you're really good about just kind of like being honest with answers and stuff.
Appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So it was just one of those like, man, this guy makes good content. It's different content for me, which is what I like. Like I don't want people making a bunch of stuff like I make, because then that's kind of boring. I don't think I make great content. So like I need somebody that makes something other than me, because then I think it's better. It's good to get to hook up with you guys, or hook up with you and get that radio to you. And and then thanks for coming on. Like I know you got the new baby, so I know that's thing. And then I know you work graveyard. Like I don't know if I want to know what you do for a living, but
I'm in law enforcement.
Graveyard is rough. I had a feeling. I knew it.
Yeah, everyone says that once you tell them.
Yeah. It's your demeanor, man. You have the authoritative calmness about you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. Am I describing that right?
Yeah, no, I guess you're right.
It's like that, like that authoritative, peaceful, like you're the guy that's gonna run into the middle of a chaos. Like I have a buddy of mine who is he's a sheriff. He's not an officer. He's a answers the phones. Come on, John. Dispatcher.
Oh.
So he's a dispatcher, and he's been a dispatcher for eons. Like he's an ex-Marine and whatnot, but he just has the demeanor. So like, he's the guy that like, I mean, you got to think about when you're calling 911, like you're in panic mode. Yeah. So like the person that has to receive that call, like there's a special skill set that is in there, and Brian just has that. He just has like the ability to talk someone through whatever's going on, right? Whether it's like danger or injury or illness or something like that. He just has the ability. So I could picture like you have this persona about you, like I could just see you knocking on the door and being like, sir, could you come out here?
So you're going with me.
I'm gonna need to see your hands, please. Yeah. Not that I've ever been pulled over or put in the back of a cop car. Ever.
That's good.
Ever. Yeah. Except not this year. Not this year. No, it's been a long time. We kind of grew up in the hood, so
I was only held for questioning.
Only?
Yeah.
Oh, I got threatened. I had a cop threaten my kids.
Really?
No.
Oh yeah. We almost got in a fight.
Ooh.
Yeah. He was like, and the thing is, like they came to knocking on my door because someone said somebody around the corner said their car got broke into, and so the cop knocked on the door. Like I got off for work, the cop knocks on the door. He's like, "Who owns that truck out there?" I was like, "Which truck?" And he's like, "The Dodge." I'm like, "Oh, that's mine." He's like, "Oh." He's you got any power tools around here? I was like, yeah. He's like, where are they? The garage? He's like, can I see them? Sure, bud. No problem. Let me go get. So like, I turned around to go get the keys, and he like slammed my wife against the wall, like thinking I was gonna run. Yeah, like he like put his arm out like this, like he was like gonna run after me, and I was like, I'm just getting the keys, man. Just getting the keys. So I let him in. And he's looking around, and he's like, "Oh, you mind if we sit in my back of my squad car for a minute?" And I'm like, "Sure, man.
Yeah.
No problem." So like, I literally like the shop I worked at. Like, I literally worked on 3 narc cars that day. Like, I put stuff in for the undercover guys all the time. Like, we worked on San Bernardino sheriff cars weekly. So he's like, "What do you do for a living?" I was like, "Oh, I work at a stereo shop, and doing this for 10 years. My next door neighbor, who we share a garage, he's been there 8 years. So this is what we do." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So he sits in there, and then this like guy comes over, and then the guy comes back out. He's like, "So here's our problem." The officer tells me this. I'm like, "Oh, what's the problem?" He's like, "So it wasn't power tools, it was stereo equipment." And I'm like, "Well, that's convenient." And he's like, "Yeah, because you have quite a bit in your garage." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I do, because I just told you there's 18 years of working in this industry in that garage." That's and he's crazy. Like, "Well, it looks kind of bad." And I'm like, "It can look bad all it wants to look bad. It doesn't mean it is bad."
You need a little more than that.
So he's like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Well, give me 5 more minutes." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I sit back in his car. And this cop was this big corn-fed dude, man. Big old corn-fed, like, country boy. And then this little Mexican guy shows up, look like you. And he walks up, and they're talking, and then they open the door. And the guy's like, "Hey, man, look, that dude ID'd your truck." And I go, "Okay, that's fine." He goes in, like, this time, like, the truck was like in a wreck, right? So it's got a white fender, a green door, a black bed, right? Like, I haven't painted it. It's like been rebuilt. He's like, "And there's not many trucks like yours." And I was like, "Well, no." And he's like, "But he ID'd it." And I'm like, "That's okay." He's like, "But we got fingerprints." I'm like, "Well, they won't be mine." And then the little dude gets in my face. He's like, "Where's the stuff?" And I'm like, "What stuff are you talking about?" He's like, "I saw your baby. Do I need to call CPS?" And I was like, "Oh, hell no." Like, we're about to fight right now, little boy. Like, I'm about to monkey bop you. Clack. So the big dude got in the middle. And he's like, whoa. We'll call you if we need you. I'm like, "That's fine. I'll be here." I was like, "You threatened my kid, man. You need to go back in your squad car, homie."
Yeah, everybody's different.
You need to get
all over the place.
I was pissed, man. I was like, "What?" Like I sat there. I got in your car twice for you.
Right.
Like, obviously, I'm not trying to hide nothing.
Yeah.
Here. Like, if I, quit being a schmuck. So I actually tried calling on them, and there was no report of them ever coming to my house.
Right?
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. So, because I ran into, like, that next morning, the guy in charge of all the undercover drug guys, the narc guys from sheriff came by to pick up cars. And I was telling him what happened. He's like, "Oh, hell no, man." He's like, "You call for a watch commander." He's like, "I'd call him." And so I called the office, and they're like, "We have no reports." Like, they're like, "We have a report of this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I heard that on the radio. I was in the car when that call went over the radio." I heard that call. And she's like, "Yeah, sir, I don't know what officers were there." And I was like, "Well, I think you're lying to me, but that's fine. Just tell that little guy if he thinks he's taking my kids away, it's not going to go well for him." It probably wouldn't go well for me either, but So anyways, there's one of my cop stories.
I think we all have some, huh? Like,
I think so. Well, he's got all the cop stories. He is a cop, so every story of his is a cop story.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
all your stories, your cop stories. Well, that's cool, man. Well, big props to you for that. Like, I know that I've known a fair share of officers, and it's a rough gig.
Yeah, it can be for sure. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're the guy running where everybody's running away from. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm even happier that you got a free radio. I want to give you more free stuff now. Oh man. Well, with that, man, is there any last things you'd love to share, or I'll make sure everybody has your channel so they can go check out what you have going on there. I'm excited to see if you make some content with your kid, because kids camping is always just a ton of fun. Like you got the reels and you remake the reels. Like my favorite, there's like two of the AI voices that are like my favorite right now. And one of them is, no kid ever said, "I remember when my dad got 60 miles to the gallon on his Prius." I was like, yeah. And then the other one was like, "Take your kids off-roading because there's something. I don't remember. But anyways, yeah. So I just love those two because they make me laugh. Like, nobody ever said, "I remember when my dad got 60 miles to the gallon in his Prius." Anyways.
Fun.
Yeah, good. Yeah, any last thoughts, my man?
No, other than, again, appreciate you guys working with me. Like the first big company to give me a chance at doing something, and
nice.
Really appreciate it. And everyone, I've got probably hundreds of questions from people throughout the year asking about how this works. Mm-hmm. I had a guy last night ask me a bunch of questions, and it's awesome to be able to actually enjoy the product and be able to answer questions and recommend it to people because it's a good product. So kudos to you guys for doing good stuff, and just keep it up.
Thanks. Yeah, we work hard on that. So fit and finish, all those things. So
functionality, all goes hand in hand.
It's awesome.
But we're glad you're enjoying it. Like we've said it numerous times on our podcast. Like our owner, he has his mentality is, I want to make what people want.
Yeah.
So he's like, if I make something I want and nobody wants it, then what good is that to me?
Right.
And he wants to make, and good enough isn't good enough. There's always this push for bigger, better, faster. He's always pushing the guys to make bigger, better, faster. So it's always nice to hear on the other side, when folks see that. So
yeah.
But anyways, thanks again for coming on, man. You get to be part of our giveaway.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So this will be our first giveaway ever. So everybody bear with me as I learn how to do this. I pushed the button once before we started. And so we're going to try again. Here we go. What are we giving away?
13.3 Universal.
Yeah. 13.3. I think I'm supposed to, let me refresh it. Actually.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was like. Well, actually, no, I do. I can't say I can't. Because I had the, different brand 10-inch floating screen in my RAM.
Yeah.
And, I spent so much money on it. I was like hesitant on taking it out.
Yeah.
But I'm a YouTube CarPlay.
You are a YouTube CarPlay guy.
And I couldn't get that off my other radio.
Yeah.
And that 13.3, man, it just...
Yep.
So whoever gets it,
there it is.
We'll enjoy it.
Ready to be awarded, it says. And there's our winner. I can't read it. So, but whoever that
can't read it either.
It says Protect Services. Protect Services NC@gmail.com.
All right, cool. Those are our winner. So I will shoot you guys a email. We'll get this thing sent out to you. Thanks everybody for joining our giveaway. And we're giving away a sub amp, right? That's what you want to give away? So do we go big for the big 15, or do we go in the middle for the 1,000?
I was going to say 1,000.
Or do we do the 500?
I was going to say 1,000.
1,000 watt?
If you don't like much,
you could go too big.
You're okay with the 1,000, but if you like a lot of it, the 1,000 will give it to you.
Yeah, it will.
So I think...
All right, 1,000. That's what we're doing. We're giving away a 1,000 watt, 1 ohm stable
Class D
amplifier.
Yeah.
Once we hit, I think it's gonna be right around 12,000 or 13,000.3 or something like that. I'll find the actual number.
Okay.
And I'll put it in there. But that is episode 19, hanging out.
Woo!
Make sure you guys check out Overlanding Cactus. Like I said, I learned quite a bit on his thing when I was trying to help my son-in-law figure out if he should buy a Ranger. By the way, I like the Ranger better than the Tacoma.
Really nice.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice. The way that it was done up. I mean, Scott
did build a really nice one. I just, in general, so we have a Tacoma we built.
Yes.
And it's super cool, and it's built to the gills.
Yes,
and it just does not drive or perform as well as when I was driving Aaron's truck before he picked it up.
Oh.
Yeah. That turbo that Ford's got in there.
Yeah, turbo's nice.
Yes, the input or the whole filling inside is not nearly as, it does not feel nearly as small as the Tacoma. The Tacoma, when you're in it, it feels really small inside after sitting in the Ranger. The Ranger, you feel like you're in a bigger truck, even though it's basically the same.
Yeah.
I think it's roughly the same size truck.
We almost got Tacoma too. That's what we were going to do at first, and I test drove one.
Yep. And
it just didn't really like it. The inside just didn't really catch my eye.
Yeah, it's just a very basic, and it just, I told him that, and so he was just hung up, because that's the thing, man. Toyota Tacoma, like everybody, it's the go-to, right? Like it's the goated little truck.
Exactly.
And when Aaron was like really looking at him, and like I have a friend at Toyota, so I was like, I could probably get you a deal, and
it does feel tight in there, though. It's hard for me to say that I feel big in any one car.
That's the one,
right? But remember, I have a Ram, so
that's true.
So when I go from my Ram to the Tacoma, it does feel like if I had someone next to me, like our shoulders would be almost, kind of rubbing.
That back seat is like non-existent.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah, if you guys are looking to get some information on whether you want a Ranger over at Tacoma, man, check out Overlanding Cactus. He's got some good stuff there. And episode 19's in the books.
Man,
coming up to the end of the year.
Yep.
I can't wait to hit 20.
Yeah, 20 next week.
And then in 2 more,
21.
We're gonna be old enough to drink.
We are gonna be old enough to drink. Yeah, we talked about that last week.
being old enough to vote.
Yeah, we were old enough to vote last week. This week we're in college this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing stupid things in college right now. That's what our podcast is doing. Our podcast is making dumb decisions.
That's crazy.
That our parents disagree with. Soon enough, then we'll be 21, and then we'll make really dumb decisions.
Yes.
And then we'll hit 24, 25, and then we'll start to pull back. We'll be wise. We'll be a wise podcast.
We'll pick and choose our friends better.
Yeah, we'll pick and choose our friends better. That's good stuff. Anyways, guys, that's episode 19. Once again, make sure you give Overland Cactus a look. Give him a subscribe. Check out what he's got going on. Thanks again for coming on, my man.
Absolutely.
And next time I get some cool stuff that I can send you, I will send you some stuff.
Appreciate it.
But that's it, guys. 19 in the books.